to ask, how does this all come apart where you have Elon Musk on a video screen live in front of Twitter employees?
It's kind of a fun story, right? So Twitter, as you mentioned, was at this offsite in Houston, global offsite. They flew all of their employees in. And Jack Dorsey, from the video I saw, looks like he pulls up what looks like an iPad, and he literally FaceTimes up Elon Musk. They have some actual issues getting the audio to work, and eventually, voila, they're talking. Musk's face is on this big screen above Jack Dorsey's head, and the employee base are watching.
So what's the advice? The
advice is, hey, you should do a better job of identifying real people on Twitter versus bots or I guess fake users on Twitter. He said it can be really hard. He has almost 31 million followers. It can be really hard to get real feedback. Are people who are complaining actual customers? Are people who want issues with Tesla cars? Are those people just bots? Are those competitors? What is that? And when you can't tell a bot from a real person on the network, it can make things difficult.
And that does seem to be a broader issue at Twitter. I feel like a lot of the hate mail, for example, that we get, a lot of the negative, the trolling comes on Twitter. I don't get as much of that on an Instagram or a Facebook. How has Twitter not been able to control that perhaps as much as some of the other social media companies?
I mean, this comes back to real identity, which is the term Facebook uses all the time because they say, hey, in order to create a profile, has to be your true self. You got to use your real name. You got to use a real photo. And if they believe that you're not your real self, they'll actually ask you, hey, send in a driver's license, prove you are who you are. Twitter doesn't have that. And that's part of what makes Twitter, kind of fun, right? Is that they have these anonymous accounts that can be really funny. You can have parody accounts, but it also creates a real opportunity for people who want to be hurtful, who want to be trolly, who want to be negative, because they can just hide behind any email or username that they can get their hands on, and it's hard to police that way.
You know what? I wanted to ask you, give me your quick thoughts. Twitter in 2020 versus Facebook for the advertising market.
Well, I mean, there's no comparison, really.
Yep.
Facebook is in a league of its own. Well, Facebook and Google are way up here. Twitter's way down below. I think I don't see them coming much closer in 2020, unfortunately, for Twitter.